would hate to miss tomato season in New Jersey.
What exit, you know? I mean,
maybe this is what New Jersey is all about.
I got lots of work to do. God bless the Garden State.
Welcome to the New Jersey Hall of Fame 12th Annual Induction Ceremony. And now, here's your host, Jason Alexander.
Good evening and welcome. It is my pleasure to be the host of the 12th Annual New Jersey Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony. The organization had wanted Danny DeVito to host, but he wasn't available. So they went to the next short, bald guy they could think of, hence me. Last year, I was honored to be an inductee into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. That meant I had to fly myself cross-country, Los Angeles to Newark, and back to pick up this award. This year's inductees don't even have to get off the couch. It's all about the timing. But though we can't gather as we have done in the past to celebrate and toast our new class of inductees, New Jersey never gives up. We just put our heads down, drive till we hit the water, build a boardwalk, throw a party. Well, it's not Asbury Park this year, but it's still a party. And we're thrilled that you're joining us here to celebrate these extraordinary honorees. You know, for 12 years, this event has honored the best and brightest New Jersey natives and residents. People who have made an impact not only on our state, but on the world. Now, perhaps more than ever, the Hall of Fame's motto resonates with truth, because everyone needs a hero. So let's meet and celebrate some unique New Jersey heroes, athletes, artists, and leaders, people who our fellow citizens across the country look up to and who proudly hail from the Garden State. You know, people often ask me, why is New Jersey called the Garden State? And I give them a proper New Jersey answer. Why do you think? What's it to you? Let's go down the shore. Shut up. But let me say now, see for yourself. Let's take a look at our magnificent state and all the things that make New Jersey so special.
Hey everybody, Governor Phil Murphy here with First Lady Tammy Murphy. We are thrilled to participate in the 12th annual ceremony introducing the newest class for the New Jersey Hall of Fame. In difficult times like these, our Hall of Fame reminds us that we have the power to make our world better. The more than 140 role models already inducted include New Jerseyans from every field. Albert Einstein, Bruce Springsteen, Steve Forbes, Jersey Joe Walcott, James Gandolfini to Mary Higgins Clark and beyond. Their work and attitude inspire all of us to strive for excellence in everything we do, and tonight we're honored to help induct this year's class.
The motto of the New Jersey Hall of Fame is everyone needs a hero, and that sentiment could not be truer or more relevant today. In fact, a number of past inductees have been doctors and scientists who have been heroes to our state and nation in the past, just like the healthcare workers and first responders who are our heroes today.
Amen.
It is that spirit of service and distinction that we celebrate tonight across 5 different categories of excellence. Let's get started with the inductees for this year in the category of Arts and Letters.
Quite a class of luminaries. Our state never ceases to amaze me as a birthplace of incredible talent.
Absolutely. Now let's look at a related category, that of arts and entertainment. And to present the first inductee in this category, it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of my favorite actors, even if she wasn't born in New Jersey. Please welcome four-time Oscar-nominated actor Annette Bening.
Thank you, Governor and First Lady, for that kind introduction. It's an honor to be with you all tonight and to have the distinct pleasure of introducing our first inductee of the evening, Danny Aiello. Many actors say they came from humble beginnings, but with Danny, it was not a stretch. He started working at age 9, selling newspapers, working in a grocery store and bowling alley. After dropping out of high school and serving in the Army, he did various odd jobs, including as a transit worker, eventually becoming head of the Greyhound Bus Workers Union. He was a true blue-collar actor, making a name for himself in little roles in movies like Bang the Drum Slowly and The Godfather Part 2. But when he appeared in Moonstruck, it became apparent to all that this big, burly character was truly a character actor with few peers. Whether it was on television, stage, or the more than 70 movies he was in, using his skills he probably learned as a bouncer in the 70s, he grabbed a part and didn't let it go until he made it his own. Let's learn a little bit more about Danny Aiello.
A Ramsey resident for many years, later moving to Saddle River, Danny Aiello was born in Manhattan and grew up in the South Bronx. After serving in the Army and stints as a transit worker and bouncer, he broke into films at the age of 37. His look and attitude made him a natural for roles with a big impact, like Fort Apache the Bronx with Paul Newman and Once Upon a Time in America with Robert De Niro. His breakout role, for which he was nominated for an Oscar and Golden Globe, was as pizzeria owner Sal in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
2 slices. Turn it up! Mr. Radio Raheem. I can't even hear myself think. You are disturbing me. You are disturbing my customers.
He had roles in more than 100 films and impressive stage and TV credentials as well, and toured with his swing and jazz band, releasing 5 albums. Danny Aiello, an actor to be reckoned with, and now a New Jersey Hall of Famer as well.
Good evening. My name is Sydney and I'm Danny Aiello's granddaughter. My grandfather broke out into acting at the later age of 37, and with an unprecedented work ethic and an extreme drive to be successful in everything that he did, he led himself down an incredible and impactful career of over 70 movies, something that he was extremely proud of. Although he is not with us today, we know how elated he would be to receive this distinct honor. On behalf of my family, it is with great pride that I accept this award on behalf of my grandfather, Danny Aiello. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the CEO of the largest health network in New Jersey, Hackensack Meridian Health, Bob Garrett.
Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here. As the lead sponsor of the New Jersey Hall of Fame, it's my honor to help induct the class of 2019. It's my privilege to welcome into the hall my dear friend and mentor, the late Joe Simonovich. And we are also proud to have Sister Jane Frances Brady and Linda Bowden joining this prestigious group. The motto of the hall is, "Everyone needs a hero," but this is a year like no other. We have a whole new set of heroes. These amazing people never asked to be noticed, never wanted fame, never asked for anything other than the resources and time to do their jobs. But if anyone fits the definition of a hero these days, it's our frontline healthcare workers and first responders. I'm in awe of their talent, their dedication, and their resilience. When the books are written about this horrible pandemic, they will be remembered as true American heroes that they are. There are no words to adequately thank them. Our hearts are filled with gratitude. Thank you for taking care of us. Now let's spend some time with some of these extraordinary people.
How are you feeling on your back? Okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Fist bump. You could do this, all right? Yeah.
New Jersey, because of its proximity to New York City, was one of the hardest hit states in the country. During the height of the pandemic, it was a tsunami of patients. The Commissioner of Health challenged every hospital in the state to increase their critical care capacity by 2-fold. So it required us to think much differently than we had ever thought in the past.
The hardest part was that the families weren't able to come and visit, but the nurses and the support staff just spent the time with the patients as best that they possibly could, and it just leaves an impact that you'll never forget.
We achieved a momentous milestone. We discharged our 1,000th COVID patient. He was intubated twice. He received plasma therapy as well as a number of different clinical trials and was here for a number of weeks. There was nothing more gratifying for the team than to reunite him with his family.
I think that we're ready if there's a second wave, and I think we'll even be more prepared this time just because, you know, we've done it once and we did it well. And then your cool headband?
And my cool headband that someone donated to us because we were getting a lot of pain in our ears.
On the ears.
Our country will develop the right vaccine. Some say as early as by the end of this year. Others say that it'll take time into next year. We may have to go through a few versions of vaccines, but I'm really hopeful that we'll come up with the best vaccine for our people, and it'll make us safer.
Hi there, my name is Gaten Matarazzo. I'm very, very excited to be a part of this year's New Jersey Hall of Fame ceremony. I'm also very excited and very humbled to be able to pay tribute to all healthcare workers and everybody out on the front lines fighting this pandemic. None of us can thank you enough. I'm sure you've heard thank you countless times, and I'm sure it's worn out at this point, but it's true. Our gratitude is immeasurable, and it's hard to find the right words to convey that message. But I have an idea. I think I'm going to sing a little song. It really spoke to me, and it goes out to all healthcare workers who go out every day thinking they're just doing their job like anybody else would. Just the fact that you put yourself on the line to protect others in itself is heroic. So this goes out to all of you. You're all heroes. It's called Superman. It's by Five for Fighting, and I hope you guys enjoy. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. I'm just out to find the better part of me. I'm more than a bird. I'm more than a plane. I'm more than some pretty face beside a train. It's not easy to be me. I wish that I could cry, fall upon my knees, find a way to lie by the home I'll never see. It may sound absurd, but don't be naive. Even heroes have the right to bleed. I may be disturbed, but don't you concede. Even heroes have the right to dream, and it's not easy to be me. Off and away, away from me, and it's alright. We can all sleep sound tonight. I'm not crazy or anything. I can't stand to fly. I'm not that naive. Men weren't meant to ride with clouds between their knees. I'm only a man in a silly red sheet, digging for kryptonite on this one-way street. Only a man in a funny red sheet, looking for special things inside of me, inside of me. Inside of me.
inside of me. I'm only a man in a funny red sheet. I'm only a man looking for a treat. I'm only a man in a funny red sheet. And it's not easy to be me. Before I go, I have one more thing to do. I'm very, very excited to be able to present the newest member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame, Eli Manning. It's hard to think of the Giants without thinking of Eli, and he has proven through his skill, dedication, and love for his craft that he can do great things, earning 2 Super Bowl rings, but his contributions as a person and as a leader have earned him the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award in 2016 and the Athletes in Action Bart Starr Award in 2020. So, let's take a closer look at Eli Manning.
Hailing from a football family, Eli Manning was a Summit resident and member of the Giants football franchise for 16 seasons. After being drafted in 2004 by the Chargers, Manning was traded to the Giants and made his rookie start in Week 1 against the Eagles. In 2005, he was named the team's starting quarterback and took the team into the postseason as NFC East champions. Just 2 years later, he improved on that in a big way, leading the Giants to their first Super Bowl victory in 17 years, which featured David Tyree's unbelievable helmet catch.
Tyree who makes the catch!
For his efforts, Manning was named the game's most valuable player. 4 years later, he did it again, winning his second Super Bowl and second MVP award. He was named to the Pro Bowl 4 times, holds the league record for the most passing yards in a single postseason, as well as more than 25 Giants franchise records. And now he has one more trophy for his case as a member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. For the last several years, it's been pretty easy and quite common in everyday conversation for people to lump the following people into the same category: Albert Einstein, Kool and the Gang, Meryl Streep, Grover Cleveland, and Eli Manning. Well, now it's even easier. It is truly an honor to be recognized tonight along with so many other wonderful recipients. Playing quarterback for the Giants these past 16 years has been a true joy and a privilege. And living in New Jersey and raising my family here has been the same. Although I believe the best part about being elected into the Hall of Fame tonight is that the debate is now over. It seemed like every time I turned on the TV or talk radio, all I heard was whether or not I deserved to make it into the Hall of Fame. Well, now it's decided. I'm officially a Hall of Famer, and everyone can move on to a new topic of conversation. I assume my jacket will be delivered in the next few days. In all seriousness, I am very grateful and humbled to be a member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Eli, and congratulations to you on your induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. It was supposed to be for Eli, right? We didn't mess up and give it to the wrong Manning, did we? We okay? Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's keep the sports theme going as we introduce our next inductee, Vivian Stringer. Since 1995, Miss Stringer has been the head coach of the women's basketball program at Rutgers, a game I can't play at a college I didn't get into. She has been named National Coach of the Year 3 times and has been inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. And in 2018 became the first African-American college basketball coach to win 1,000 games. Let's learn a little bit more about her.
Vivian Stringer has been the head of the women's basketball program at Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, since 1995. Just 3 years later, her team won the Big East title and advanced to the NCAA Sweet 16. Under her leadership, Rutgers has continued its winning ways with 4 Big East and 6 Big Ten regular season championships, 4 appearances in the NCAA Final Four, and an NIT championship in 2014. Over her career, she has won Coach of the Year honors from Sports Illustrated, USA Today, and the Black Coaches Association, as well as the Big East, Big Ten, and NCAA.
Vivian Stringer.
She has coached internationally in the Pan American Games, the World University Games, and at the Olympics. Her outstanding leadership led the U.S. Sports Academy to name its annual Women's Coaching Award in her honor. And now she has one more award to add to her own collection as a member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
I am deeply honored and humbled to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame alongside such an impressive and inspirational class. I am profoundly gratified to have spent the last 26 years of my career in New Jersey at Rutgers University. It is my wish to share this honor with every student athlete that has called me coach. But I share this award with each coach, administrator, manager, practice player, support staff member that has been part of our Rutgers women's basketball family. The greatest gift that I've had is the ability to do something that I really care and love. I try to educate young women who come in as young girls to become outstanding young women that will take on the complex issues of today's society. To everyone who has been a part of this journey with me, I say, thank you. Thank you for helping me live my dream.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel Chris Dempsey, and I'm General Dempsey's son. So Eli, I know a little bit about what it's like to follow in a father's big footsteps. Thank you to the New Jersey Hall of Fame for allowing me to introduce my father. I've had the opportunity to do so on a number of occasions, although this is the first one I've done virtually. As you might know, my dad was nicknamed the Singing General during his time in uniform. One of his favorites is a song called The Voyage, which is a metaphor for what my father would call a felt life, and ends with the line, "When we started this voyage, it was just me and you. Now gathered round us, we have our own crew." My dad and mom are most proud that they have their own crew of 3 happily married children and 9 grandchildren. And I know my dad is immensely proud to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame because Bayonne, New Jersey is where his voyage began. So here's my dad, General Martin Dempsey.
Martin Dempsey was born in Jersey City and raised in Bayonne. His military career started as a member of the West Point class of 1974, with a commission as an armor officer, and soon after he married his high school sweetheart. He served in both the Gulf War and Iraq and got his first star in 2001. In 2003, he became Commanding General of Combat Operations in Iraq. And in 2008, he got his 4th star, becoming the acting commander of the U.S. Central Command, and later head of the Training and Doctrine Command. In 2011, he became the Chief of Staff of the Army, and President Obama nominated him to be the 18th Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. After a 41-year career in the military, he retired in 2015 and was elected to be chairman of USA Basketball. He continues his leadership as a speaker, teacher, and author, and was knighted by Queen Elizabeth. He's even been known to sing for the troops. General Martin Dempsey, decorated military leader and singer. Welcome to the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Chris. I'm very proud of you. And thanks to the members of the New Jersey Hall of Fame Selection Committee. I'm genuinely honored to be part of the New Jersey Hall of Fame class of 2020. I'm also genuinely humbled. You only get one start in life, and Bayonne, New Jersey was where I got mine. I was blessed that my 4 Irish immigrant grandparents chose there to begin their new lives in America. It was in Bayonne that I began my education, part of it at St. Andrews Elementary School, but an even bigger part of it around the extended family dinner table each Sunday. It was in Bayonne that I learned about service, about charity, about dignity, and about respect. It was in Bayonne that I first learned to appreciate the power of sports, to bring young boys and girls of different backgrounds together. Lessons I never forgot. In my career, I hope that I have contributed back a fraction of what I took from my childhood in New Jersey. Thank you, and God bless the Garden State. And now it's my pleasure to present the other inductees in the public service category.
Hello everybody, it's Dionne Warwick. I've been asked to introduce a lady being inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame today. And it is with a great deal of pride, pleasure, and most of all, love that I do so. This lady is my Aunt Sissy. Yes, and as you can see, I am filled with a great deal of pride for her. So without further ado, let's take a look at her accomplishments.
Born Emily Drinkerton Newark, Sissy Houston began her singing career in 1938 as part of the Drinkard Singers. They performed regularly at the New Hope Baptist Church and recorded a live album called A Joyful Noise. In 1963, she formed the Sweet Inspirations. Besides their own albums, they sang backup for everyone from Lou Rawls to Dusty Springfield. Over the next 4 decades, she had hit singles as a solo artist and session work with notables such as David Bowie, Linda Ronstadt, and Aretha Franklin, not to mention her daughter Whitney. But her heart and roots were in gospel, a category in which she won Grammys in 1996 and 1998. And it's her roots in New Jersey that make her the newest member of our own Hall of Fame.
It's an honor to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Thank you so very much.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Aunt Sissy. I'm so happy you were able to be with us today. And on behalf of your family, your friends, and all of your fans, we all say congratulations to you, too. And now, a lady who happens to be a very, very dear, dear friend of mine. She's going to come to you with a few words and a surprise. How about that? Miss Melky Jean.
Thank you, Dionne. It's one thing to be able to sing. It's another to be able to sing like Sissy Houston. Her voice was just the beginning. Her style, her attitude, her energy was the purest expression of joy and love. It's what music is all about, and Sissy did it better and longer than most of us can even dream. To help celebrate this extraordinary woman and inductee, I am so happy to introduce another performer who channels that same energy and love. Grammy winner and New Jersey Hall of Fame member himself, my big brother, Mr. Wyclef Jean.
Thank you, little sister Melky. I love you, Sissy Houston. This is Wyclef, the preacher's son. Straight out of New Jersey. I know what y'all all thinking right now. Dressed like Sunday morning, got no place to go. Runways in the closet, internet's the show. Heroes on the front line, working overtime. Fear over courage. Or is it courage over fear? When they cross that line, who's to say? It is not in the time like this that we've been chosen to get closer to one another, even with the distance. I feel so near, even with the separation of space. You'll be right. We're 6 degrees apart, closer than we've ever been. The stadium is empty, it's the living room we're in. Someone tell the land, Lord, hear my cry. We all wear the mask now, fear is a disguise. But who's to say? It is not in a time like this that we've been chosen to get closer to one another, even with the distance. I feel so near, even with the separation of space. You'll be right here. Even with the distance, I feel so near. Even with the separation of space, you'll be right here. Even with the distance.
What a treat. Thanks, Wycliffe. I'm now joined by Marie Bliston, the president of the New Jersey Education Association, to present our scholarship and essay winners. Welcome, Marie.
Thank you, Jason. We at the New Jersey Education Association are proud to partner with the New Jersey Hall of Fame and help select the winners of the essay contest, as well as the two $5,000 Arate scholarships. For the essay contest, students throughout the state were asked to pick deserving individuals for inclusion in the hall and then make their case in a 500-word essay. In the intermediate category, the winner is Amratu Komorashu, a fifth grader from the Millstone River School in the West Windsor Plainsboro School District. And in the high school category, the winner is Sharashu Rajan, a 10th grader at the Manalapan Science and Engineering Academy in the Freehold Regional High School District. The Arate Scholarship winners are young people who demonstrate a sense of Jersey pride and the willingness to go above and beyond. They must show academic engagement, moral character, a commitment to their community, and have a well thought out plan on how they intend to realize their highest sense of self. This year's winners: from Old Bridge High School, David Ten, and from Lenape Valley Regional High School, Madeline Roth. Congratulations to all our winners. Jason, I'll hand this back over to you.
Thank you, Marie, and congratulations to our student winners. It is now my pleasure to introduce our next inductee, this time from the Arts and Entertainment category. I must have been 10 years old when I first saw John Amos on television as Gordie Howard, the weatherman on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and I have grabbed every chance to watch him work since. I even had the pleasure of directing him and acting alongside him some years ago, and it was a total joy. Over his 4-decade career in the acting profession, from Good Times to Roots to Uncut Gems, he has always been an actor's actor and an audience favorite. Let's learn a little bit more about John Amos.
Born in Newark and raised in East Orange, John Amos went to Colorado State on a football scholarship where he earned a degree in sociology. His gridiron skills got him a tryout for the Kansas City Chiefs, who signed and released him, as did the Denver Broncos. That led to 3 years of semi-pro ball with a variety of leagues in the U.S. and Canada. Tiring of football, he decided to try show business, first as a writer-performer, and eventually breaking out as Gordy the Weatherman on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. He made his mark as Esther Roll's husband and Jimmy J.J. Walker's father in Good Times.
Oh, Dad, can I borrow your aftershave lotion? For what? This ain't your week to shave.
And he was nominated for an Emmy as the adult Kunta Kinte in the groundbreaking series Roots. 50 years and countless roles later, he's still making movies and shows, including an appearance here as the newest member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Jason Alexander. It's always good when a fellow Jersey boy introduces another boy from Jersey. I'm honored to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. New Jersey's a melting pot of diversity and opportunity. It is that unique foundation that helped me to reach above and beyond my dreams. It's that strong sense of character that reaches from the schools and teachers to the neighborhoods and the culture that creates a united sense of community, making me proud to say I'm a native of the Garden State. The future shines bright for New Jersey, and the Hall of Fame is a shining beacon, helping to lead the way for us all.
Congratulations, John. A well-deserved honor, sir. I am thrilled to introduce our next Hall of Fame member, not to be inducted, but to show why he's already in the Hall of Fame. Please welcome Tommy James.
Look over yonder. What do you see? The sun is rising, most definitely. And a new day is coming, and people are changing. Ain't it beautiful? Crystal blue persuasion. And you better get ready, gonna see the light. Love is the answer, baby, that's alright. So don't you give up now, you're so easy to find, yeah. You just look to your soul and open your mind. Crystal blue persuasion. It's a new vibration. Crystal blue persuasion. Crystal. Maybe tomorrow, when he looks down on every green field in every town, gonna see all of his children in every nation. There'll be peace and good, brotherhood. Crystal blue persuasion.
Tommy! Tommy! That was great. Thank you so much. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the New Jersey Hall of Fame, John Hanson.
For the past 12 years, the New Jersey Hall of Fame has had a mission of celebrating our great state, honoring our legends, and inspiring the next generation of leaders. We do that with outreach like our mobile museum, which has hosted more than 300,000 visitors and features images and artifacts and videos. We have displays at Newark Airport, so whether you live here and are returning home or you're just visiting, you can learn about our state and the notables who made their mark here. And we're building a permanent home where visitors can sing karaoke with one of the stars, interview our inductees via hologram, and fly to the moon with Thomas Edison. So whether your hero is a sports legend, or a general, a rock star, or a business leader, you'll find them and learn more about them in the New Jersey Hall of Fame. And now it is my pleasure to present this year's inductees in the category of Enterprise. Certainly an impressive group. And now to present our Unsung Hero Award, it gives me great pleasure to welcome back Governor Phil Murphy and First Lady Tammy Murphy.
Thank you, John. We have two unsung heroes entering the hall this year. The first is our dear friend, Bill Lavin. Bill's the former president of the New Jersey Firefighters Mutual Benevolent Association. He represented over 5,000 career firefighters, EMTs, and dispatchers in that role, and continues to advocate for that community every day. In the wake of Superstorm Sandy and the tragedy at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, Bill founded the Where Angels Play Foundation. The organization's first initiative, the Sandy Ground Project, built 26 playgrounds in areas destroyed by the hurricane, one to honor each of the memories of the teachers and students lost that day in Newtown. The organization continues to build playgrounds throughout the country and around the world.
What an incredible and meaningful way to remember the souls we lost that day.
Amen.
Our second unsung hero is the crew of the Battleship New Jersey. The Battleship New Jersey is our country's largest and most decorated battleship, and its crew has protected, inspired, and educated our state since the ship's launch in 1942. The ship earned a Navy unit commendation for service in Vietnam and 19 battle and campaign stars for combat operations during World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, the Lebanese Civil War, and for service in the Persian Gulf.
Unbelievable.
We are indebted to the heroic service of this ship's crew.
So congratulations to our two unsung heroes, worthy new members of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
And now, it is my honor to present to you more of our arts and entertainment inductees.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our final arts and entertainment inductee. You know, Ed Harris and I have a lot in common, a lot. Here's the list. We're both from New Jersey. We both lost a bit of hair, and that's where the comparison ends. Because Ed is one of the most accomplished and respected actors in our entire industry, equally capable of playing men of honor as men of mystery or men of darkness. He's an Inglewood native who was nominated for his first acting award in 1983 and hasn't stopped since. He's also a producer, director, and screenwriter. His work is almost always on some screen somewhere, and most recently, he's been seen in HBO's Westworld as the Man in Black, a role for which he was nominated for an Emmy. Let's learn a little bit more about Ed Harris.
Ed Harris was born in Englewood and raised in Tenafly. Recruited to Columbia to play football, he dropped out after 2 years to pursue acting, not in New York, but in Norman, Oklahoma when his parents moved west. He then moved to LA and got his degree at California Institute of the Arts and continued to hone his craft on stage. He found steady work in the 70s on TV before breaking into film. But it was as John Glenn in The Right Stuff that he became a household name and got his first award nomination. Through roles in more than 75 films, over 25 TV shows, and nearly a dozen major stage appearances, he garnered a steady stream of acting nominations and awards, Tonys, Oscars, Emmys, and more, as well as big screen directing credits for Pollock and Appaloosa. But perhaps his most famous role was as flight controller Gene Kranz in Apollo 13.
Never lost an American in space. We're sure as hell not going to lose one on my watch. Failure is not an option.
For Ed Harris, failure is never an option, which is why he is the newest member of the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Good evening to all of you in attendance this evening. I hope you and your families are healthy and staying safe and relatively sane during this unprecedented period of time. It is a distinct honor and a privilege to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Tenafly was a great town to grow up in, and I've always taken great pride in my home state. So I thank the New Jersey Hall of Fame committee and everyone who made this evening possible. I wish you all a good evening, health, happiness, long life, and don't forget to vote. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Rick Barry. And you know, the best part about doing a virtual Hall of Fame induction ceremony is that I don't really have to wear this mask. And even better than that, I don't have to wear a coat and tie. However, that in no way diminishes the significance of this honor and how truly blessed and humbled I feel about being inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. I looked at the list of the current members and wow, what an impressive group. I am thrilled to be included with such illustrious individuals. One interesting side note is that one of this year's Hall of Fame inductees happens to have been my next door neighbor in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and that's General Marty Dempsey. You know, that actually might become the answer to a trivia question sometime. My mom and dad, older brother Dennis, and I were all born and raised in New Jersey. I was born in Elizabeth, and I went to high school in Roselle Park. Later in life, I coached a minor league basketball team in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and while there, I had the privilege of meeting two New Jersey Hall of Fame members, Bruce Springsteen and John Bon Jovi. There are a lot of beautiful aspects to New Jersey, but to me, New Jersey has the most incredible beefsteak tomatoes in the world, along with fantastic sweet corn. I truly miss them a lot. I thank my mother and father for teaching me essential values to possess in life, and they helped me form the foundation upon which I have lived my life. My father and brother were responsible for teaching me the correct way to play the game of basketball, and my dad is the one who convinced me and taught me how to shoot my trademark underhanded free throw. I would never have had the success I enjoyed without the other coaches and teammates I had during my career. I am indebted to all of them, and especially for them tolerating me and my competitive nature. Thanks again to the committee for this honor. I wish we could all be together tonight, and I pray for our great country to return to normalcy soon. May God bless all of you and the great state of New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Larry Holmes. Hey, it's great that you put my man, Jerry Cooney, in the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame. He's a knockout, and you didn't put somebody ordinary in there just to put him in there. You put Jerry Cooney in there. He's my man. He's a knockout.
Met Jerry Cooney and a stiff jab and good left hook in the late 1970s at Gleason's Gym when I was at the end of my career and he was starting out. Fortunately, I didn't get hit by too many of them as I knew how to duck. Jerry is not only a world-class boxer, but a very charitable person. He's always there when asked to make an appearance, and in 1998, he called me to help him start his own charity, FIST, Fighters Initiative for Support and Training, which provided financial support and job training so that fighters have a career after their retirement. Congratulations to my friend on his well-deserved honor.
My name is Jerry Cooney. I want to thank you for inducting me into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Very exciting time for me. All the people I met growing up through the ranks here in New Jersey and around the world. Fought for the heavyweight championship of the world in 1982. Great career, great people. Raised my family here in New Jersey. I've been here for 22 years, and it's Taylor ham, not pork roll.
Over the course of our lives, Jonathan and I have watched our dad work tirelessly to achieve amazing things in many areas of the New Jersey landscape. What started with a small mobile gas station and one-car showroom became the Flemington Car and Truck Country family of brands. Over the years, Dad helped numerous entrepreneurs achieve their dreams by investing in them, and most recently, he has been developing some of the highest quality and most innovative commercial and residential real estate in New Jersey.
Through those enterprises and the people he met along the way, he found inspiration and stories. And like his fellow New Jersey Hall of Famer, Thomas Edison, he turned those stories into motion pictures. His documentaries about the Actors Fund home in Englewood and a fierce Jewish-loving nun in Whippany were nominated for Academy Awards. And many of his other films focused on stories with a New Jersey setting as well, like Going Home, which was about the challenges faced by incarcerated mothers and their children in Clinton, and Bottom of the Ninth, which told the story of a championship baseball team in Bridgewater.
Not only did he make a documentary about the championship team in Bridgewater, but first he had to make the championship team. The Somerset Patriots set the standard for a whole new level of independent baseball that didn't even exist when Steve started the team in 1998. And to make it even better, he had Sparky Lyle as his manager. I tell you, he brought a special level of enjoyment to the Somerset Patriots. I can vouch for that. And the quality and professionalism that Steve brought to the business of baseball made the Patriots a tremendous success on the field, in the community, and for the 5,000 plus fans that sit in the seats every night. Steve has done wonderful things for the sport of baseball, and he has done wonderful things for the victim of domestic violence and my Safe at Home Foundation. It is with a great deal of pleasure and heart that I introduce to you my friend, Steve Califer.
I would like to thank the Hall of Fame of New Jersey. This is a tremendous honor for not only me and my family, but everybody that has a dream of going into business. Our roles as entrepreneurs, as capital formation builders, as job builders, is to make certain that every day we go out to work so that dreams of others can be met. You can be entrepreneurial in business, yes, in the automobile business, the real estate business, the motion picture business. But to be entrepreneurial in the giving back business, making certain that those are less fortunate have the treasure that you create for the purposes of doing good. Whether it be Robert Wood Johnson, the first entrepreneur inducted in the Hall of Fame, and I'm proud to be on the board of the Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health System, or any other local charity. Our job as entrepreneurs and leaders are to make certain that those paths are open. It also is the job of government officials to make certain nothing gets in the way, so that entrepreneurs can build businesses, create jobs, and make certain that in every aspect of our role as owners of business, we can benefit our community. So, to the government, state of New Jersey, open up those doors. To other entrepreneurs, make sure you're taking care of those that are less fortunate. And finally, to my wife of 49 years, we had a dream and our dream has come true.
The Borg family is sincerely honored by being included in the Hall of Fame of New Jersey. We have been residents of New Jersey, our family, since the late 1800s. And since 1919, we've been residents of Bergen County. The family's purpose with the record and all of its publications was to provide news of every town, every meeting, to keep the public informed. And I think that we've done that in spades. And I have to thank my daughter, Jennifer, and my son, Stephen, for their untiring efforts in everything that was done in the last 15 years, 20 years with the record, the Herald News, Ridgewood News, Montclair Times, 201, The Best of Bergen. We as a family also congratulate all the other honorees. We know that we're in extremely exclusive company, and we send our congratulations to all of you being inducted this year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If, as the old saying goes, you are known by the company you keep, then I am truly humbled tonight. You, the Hall of Fame and its voters, have put me in the company of stars, legends, and exemplars of service. I am certainly none of those, but I am a man who has been blessed by grace and by God. Blessed to have an extraordinary partner, Terry, who through love and dedication made my long public life possible. Blessed to have a family that equally supported their occasionally absent father. The lesson given by my early life mentors here in New Jersey, where I was born and raised, was to be willing to serve. New Jersey is surely a state of great splendor, diversity, and opportunity. Willingness is the start, but being given opportunity is essential. Our beloved home has seen more than its share of great leaders. I was equally blessed from Mendham to Trenton, to the Meadowlands, to Rutgers and Atlantic City, to be given those opportunities by New Jersey's leading stateswomen and men, many of whom are rightly in this hall. Finally, tonight would not have been possible without working side by side with the best and the brightest. You know who you are, and I sincerely thank you. Be well, stay connected. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Linda Bowden. I'm the New Jersey Regional President at PNC Bank, and it is simply an incredible honor to be inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. I have to start with two very simple statements. First, I want to thank my son Tim and my fiance John for all your support, all your love. Thank you so much. And secondly, I want to congratulate my fellow inductees. What a group. I have admired so many of you for so many years, and in some cases for decades, and I am just thrilled to be part of this particular gathering. So I'm a Jersey girl to the core. I was born in Jersey City. I went to high school in Westwood in Bergen County. I went through the state university system. I live at the beautiful New Jersey shore. And actually, if you want to go back even further, my parents, my grandparents, all my grandparents, almost all my great-grandparents, and many of my great-grandparents lived here in New Jersey. They chose this state to live. They chose this state to raise their families. So to say I am a lady with Jersey roots is an understatement. It's something I'm very proud of. And if you are actually from Jersey, as I am, I think you would have to agree that we need to be tough. I travel all around the country, and I often find that people don't understand us. They don't understand who we are, the essence of what it's like to be Jersey. They don't understand the beauty and benefits of our state. 130 miles of shoreline, beautiful beaches, beautiful mountains, beautiful lakes and rivers. It's the Garden State, not to mention we are #1 in terms of public education. This state has a lot to offer, and I am very proud of it, and I find myself very often engaged in educating other people about the joys of living here. I also have to thank PNC Bank because in this role, PNC has allowed me the opportunity to go out and give back to the state that has given me so much. So I also accept this on behalf of PNC Bank. And lastly, I'd just like to say this is a state, we are a state of over 9 million people. It is one of the most diverse states in the country, which is an enormous benefit to us. It's a gift. And there are so many unsung heroes who day in and day out support this state and who do for others in New Jersey. I'd like to accept this award on behalf of those folks, on behalf of those people who are making this state great day in and day out. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It is such an honor. I only wish my parents were here. Thank you.
Being inducted into New Jersey's Hall of Fame is a surprising but special honor for me, for the Sisters of Charity, and also for all who work in St. Joseph's healthcare system. May God continue to bless our work, especially for His poor.
Thank you to the New Jersey Hall of Fame for this great honor, and to all my fellow inductees this year and in the past, who I assure you I don't belong in their company. But I do accept on behalf of the many firefighters who are more deserving of this honor that I had the privilege to represent, and the Where Angels Play Foundation and the angels and their families, who I hope you'll learn more about through this honor of myself. But I assure you that the moms and dads and brothers and sisters of these wonderful angels that we lost too soon, who refuse to have their family members, their angels, forgotten, have shown such grace and courage and bravery, and are so much more deserving of a mention in any Hall of Fame. So thank you. I'm proud to be a New Jerseyan, and to be inducted into the Hall of Fame is just a wonderful honor. But I humbly accept it on behalf of those that I've had the privilege to work with in the fire service, the Angels Army, and of course our amazing families who have trusted us with the memory of their beautiful angels. So thank you, and God bless.
I'm Alfred Austin Driscoll, grandson of New Jersey Governor Alfred Eastlack Driscoll. I'm here representing our entire family, especially my late aunt Patricia Driscoll, my uncle Peter Eastlack Driscoll, and my father Alfred Tatum Driscoll. On behalf of our family, we appreciate the New Jersey Hall of Fame's recognition of him and his amazing work. Now you may ask, why him? I could go on for a long time, but we'll focus on some of the highlights. First, he was able to get New Jersey to finally adopt a new state constitution. It included the requirement of a thorough and efficient education for all New Jersey students. This was and is one of the most progressive state constitutions in the USA, and has been a model for other states. Next, New Jersey was the first state to desegregate the National Guard and the state police. This caused a domino effect, leading to the integration of the entire U.S. military by President Truman. Also in 1948, Governor Driscoll desegregated all public schools and all places of public employment. As an early conservationist, he had the foresight to acquire and incorporate large tracts of land into the New Jersey park system, including the Wharton Tract, Batstow, and Island Beach, as well as the Walt Whitman House in Camden to the park system. And concluding with infrastructure, he set the stage as governor and implemented during his tenure as New Jersey Turnpike Commissioner the New Jersey Turnpike, the Garden State Parkway, and the Delaware Memorial Bridge, as well as starting the southern section of the New Jersey Palisades Parkway. One fun fact, the bridge that bears his name is one of the world's widest bridges. All these have one thing in common: improving the lives of New Jersey citizens. Thank you for recognizing his amazing achievements and for his inclusion into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Thank you.
I am accepting my father's induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame because he is no longer, unfortunately, alive to do so. I'm afraid I don't know very much about his life in New Jersey. I know that as a small child, we visited his mother in Rahway. His father had died long before I was born. They lived above a small store, which I remember as a candy store. I'm sure it sold candy, and that was probably more interesting to a small child than whatever else it sold. And the other thing I remember was that there was a very early television set, probably the first one I had ever seen, showing black and white cowboy movies on a very small screen, and that struck me again as a small child. But beyond that, I'm afraid I know very little about that part of his life. I know quite a lot about my father, having spent a good deal of my life with him. He may be the best human being I have known. As best I can tell, even after he was quite famous, he answered all of his mail himself. He talked with anyone who wanted to. He had a practice when he was in a taxi cab in New York of getting into a conversation with the driver about the medallion system for taxi cabs to try to see whether he could successfully explain the economics of that system and why it actually made cab drivers worse off, although cab companies better off in the length of time he had in a trip. He had certain interesting rules for life. One of them was to never argue about whose fault anything was. His response to any such argument was, "My shoulders are broad, it was my fault," which is probably a pretty good rule and one I've tried to follow. I know that he and my mother, early in their marriage, decided that there were some things that it was hard to say, and you should therefore replace them with numbers. And the only one that actually survived in our family, and still does, was number 2. Number 2 means you were right and I was wrong. And it's easier to say number 2 than to say the full sentence. I'm happy with the way he brought me and my sister up. As best I can tell, there are 2 views of children. One is that they are pets who can talk, and the other is that they are small people who do not yet know very much. And my parents clearly believed in the second model. I spent a lot of time growing up arguing with my father. I remember when I was in college talking to someone who had met someone who had apparently encountered us, I think, in Colorado skiing. That would have been when I was in high school, and claimed that we spent all our time arguing and I won half the arguments. The latter is not true. My average score was never that high, but it was a very lively intellectual experience. And it was always clear that what mattered was not who was the father and who was the son or who was older, but only who had the better arguments. Much, much later, I heard an elderly man, quite a nice and generally sensible elderly man, say to my son, "You shouldn't contradict your elders." And I found that a shocking thing to say, not merely wrong, but practically blasphemous, because it was so inconsistent with the way I had been brought up. I wish my father were still alive. The New York Times quite recently spent a number of pages on a whole bunch of responses to a op-ed my father had published in the New York Times 50 years earlier. Almost all of them attacking it. And I was reminded by something that his friend George Stigler once said. Anyone can win an argument with Milton when he's not there. Thank you.
Hello. I speak for my entire family when I say it is a privilege and an honor to accept this prestigious award on behalf of my late husband, Joseph Simonovich. My husband was born in Jersey City and spent his entire life in New Jersey. Through his efforts both in business and politics, he truly strived to make a difference for the lives of the people throughout the state. Whether driving through Easy Pass on the Turnpike or walking through the hallways of any Hackensack Meridian facility, or for those attending the newly formed medical school, Joe's mark is there. We thank Chairman John Hanson and the board of the New Jersey Hall of Fame for nominating Joe. To all of his friends, colleagues, and acquaintances, we thank you for voting for him. We cannot begin to describe how appreciative we are of all the amazing and brilliant people we have met along the way. Joe cherished the relationships he forged throughout his long career, and he held them in the highest regard. Joe certainly would have been so grateful and humbled that his lifetime work has been recognized by the people of New Jersey through this induction. My family and I truly appreciate that New Jersey has memorialized him in this wonderful, wonderful way. Thank you.
Flip Wilson was the hottest comedian on TV in the late 60s and the early 70s. My name is Tina Wilson, and I am his niece. Flip known once as Clero, and I grew up in Jersey City. In fact, my large family has called New Jersey home for more than 100 years. I traveled a lot with him, and I lived a lot of times with him and his children, David, Tamara, Kevin, and Stacy, at his home in Malibu. The Flip Wilson Show was the first hit variety series with a black star. It was the second most popular TV series for its premium years, 1970 and 1971. It won several Emmy Awards. Flip was the first comedian to own his own TV series, but because of racism, it was never announced. The biggest names in entertainment asked, begged to be on the show. Recording artists, actors, and other comedians. It was a great time. If you weren't there, you should have been. We Wilsons thank the New Jersey Hall of Fame for honoring Flip.
On behalf of the Apgar Family Association and Dr. Virginia Apgar's extended family, we are honored that Dr. Virginia Apgar is being inducted into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Virginia was a true New Jerseyan whose ancestors arrived in New Jersey in 1740. Virginia was born 1909 here in Westfield, New Jersey. Dr. Apgar is credited by health professionals as doing more to improve the health of mothers, babies, and unborn infants than anyone else in the 20th century. Virginia graduated from Mount Holyoke College in 1929 and Columbia College of Physicians and Surgeons in 1933. She was fourth in her class, just one of 9 women. In 1937, she won and completed a surgical internship at Columbia. However, the chairman discouraged her from continuing in the field because she was a woman. Instead, he recommended anesthesiology. In 1938, Dr. Apgar returned to Columbia University as the director of the Division of Anesthesia. And in 1949, she was appointed the first woman to be a full professor at Columbia. Virginia made her greatest contribution in the field of obstetrical anesthesia with the development of the Apgar score. As an obstetric anesthesiologist, Apgar was able to distinguish healthy infants from infants in trouble. In 1949, Virginia developed the Apgar score and published it in 1953. The score was a simple 5-category observation-based assessment made 1 minute after birth. The Apgar score criteria are appearance, pulse, grimace, activity, and respiration. Apgar's quick way to assess the health of the newborn revolutionized the care of neonatal infants. Virginia's gifts to the world did not end with the Apgar score. From 1959 until her death in 1974, Virginia worked for the March of Dimes Foundation, serving as Vice President for Medical Affairs, directing programs to prevent birth defects and premature birth. More newborns survive because Dr. Virginia Apgar continues to watch over them. Thank you for welcoming Dr. Virginia Apgar into the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
As Mort Pye's son, Richard, I am honored to accept on his behalf this induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Mort was another of the fabled American success stories, starting out from humble roots, born to an immigrant family in Rochester, New York. Mort began his career in 1941 as a reporter for the Long Island Press. It was at the press where he met the love of his life, Florence Pearl Newhouse, who also worked at the paper, marrying in 1942 before he left to fight in World War II. Once back from the war, Mort rejoined the Long Island Press, becoming associate editor, then transferring to the Star Ledger in 1957, becoming its editor. Of course, it was not easy to take a failing scandal sheet that suffered by comparison to other Metro papers and lead it to prominence, becoming one of the top papers in the United States. Fortunately, he had the full support of both SI and Donald Newhouse. Throughout these formative years, Pearl became a sounding board, an unseen collaborator, for she also loved the paper and fully supported his efforts. Over the years, the paper and Mort received numerous awards and accolades for their news coverage and their famous crusading topical articles. Mort received numerous honorary doctorates, including those from Rutgers and Seton Hall. He was particularly fond of the Star Ledger's scholarship program, honoring some of New Jersey's best and brightest students. In conclusion, I'd like to quote some of Donald Newhouse's recollections of Mort upon his death. Quote, "Mort loved the Star Ledger, his profession in New Jersey. The Star Ledger grew to become the newspaper for New Jersey as a direct result of Mort's editorial genius and his single-minded focus on being an editor of New Jersey. His Star Ledger was a complete record of the daily news and sports of the state. His legacy to New Jersey is a state with an identity, boasting the Meadowlands Sports Stadiums, Liberty Science Center, and the New Jersey Performing Arts Center. He was brilliant, creative, amusing, dynamic, unpretentious, forceful, and considerate." End quote. When Mort, battling with cancer, was unable to give his full attention to the paper, Pearl and he designed their retirement home, situated in the Tewksbury Hills, overlooking their beloved adopted state, where they lived out their lives together. Thank you again for bestowing this honor of including Mort Pye into the New Jersey Hall of Fame.
Hello, I'm Ann Dickinson, granddaughter of Fairleigh Dickinson. Although Fairleigh died when I was a baby, his deeds and his presence live on after him in the university which bears his name and in the company Becton Dickinson, which he founded with his partner Maxwell Becton. Fairleigh came from a modest background in the South, in North Carolina, before coming north to make his way in the world. Even though he lacked formal schooling, Fairleigh lived a purpose-filled life of accomplishment and philanthropy. He was most fortunate in his marriage to my grandmother, Grace Smith Dickinson, who, a philanthropist in her own right, did much for their town of Rutherford. Fairleigh's descendants, including myself, were raised to appreciate the good fortune bestowed upon them by the state of New Jersey and to give back. We were raised to be Jersey proud. I'm honored to accept Fairleigh Dickinson's induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. On behalf of my late grandfather, I would like to especially thank Governor and Mrs. Murphy, the entire team at the New Jersey Hall of Fame, and of course, the people of the great state of New Jersey. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Crane. It's a great honor to say a few words on behalf of my great-granduncle, Stephen Crane, on his induction into the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Stephen was a true son of New Jersey. His great-grandfather, also Stephen Crane, was a delegate from New Jersey to the First Continental Congress in the American Revolution. His third great-grandfather, again also Stephen Crane, was a member of the Elizabethtown Associates, who signed an oath of allegiance and charter to King George II, founding New Jersey as a colony in 1665. Stephen was a very prolific writer. He started writing at age 4. By age 16, he had published papers. At age 22, he wrote Maggie, a Girl of the Streets, a novel about the Bowery district of New York City. And at age 24, he wrote his most famous story, The Red Badge of Courage, for which he was recognized as one of the very early Impressionist writers, and became a very popular novel. Stephen also was a war correspondent, covering the Spanish-American War in Cuba and conflicts in Greece. My favorite story of his, The Open Boat, a short story based on 30 hours he spent in a lifeboat after the wreck of the Commodore as he was sailing from Florida to Cuba, is an incredible, realistic story that I would encourage anybody to read. Stephen died at a very early age, 29, of tuberculosis in 1900. His body was brought back to New Jersey, and he's buried at the Crane family plot at Evergreen Cemetery in Hillside, just a few miles from where he was born in Newark, and a few miles from where his family helped to found New Jersey and Elizabeth. Again, it's a great honor to accept this award on behalf of Stephen, and I would encourage everybody to read his works.
And that just about brings us to the close of our show. Congratulations to all of our new inductees and our student winners, and thank you for joining us tonight. To take us out, once again, I am thrilled to introduce New Jersey Hall of Fame member Tommy James. Thanks, everybody, and good night.
Making a living the old hard way, taking and giving my day by day. I dig snow and rain and the bright sunshine, dragging a line. My dog Sam eats purple flowers, ain't got much but one we got sours. We dig snow and rain and the bright sunshine, dragging a line, dragging a line. I feel fine talking about peace of mind. I'm gonna take my time, I'm getting a good sign, dragging a line, dragging a line, loving the free and the feeling spirit, hugging a tree when you get near it, and digging the snow and the rain and the bright sunshine. We're dragging a line, dragging a line. I feel fine talking about peace of mind. I'm gonna take my time, I'm getting a good sign, dragging a line, dragging a line. La 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 la. We'll be dragging the line. upon a star. Wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops. High above the chimney top, that's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Where